Good day, guys. Being here. Today we are going to model this project, and I think the most interesting part of this project are these legs. So we're going to model these legs. Okay, so let's start. So first, I'm going to just explain what we are going to do. So I'm going to do a screenshot here. So what we're going to do is, so if you look at here, so if I cut it from here and here, so we are going to have something. If you look at the triangular shape, so it will be a triangular shape, and with all these members connect, right? So, and then with another one and stack on each other, and then with vertical connections, and also there are some diagonal ones. Okay, so we can just add some into this. So okay, so let's do it. So first we're going to create a new adaptive family. So use this generic model adaptive, and okay, so place 3 points, 1, 2, 3, make them adaptive, and also let's copy them, CC up. Okay, so now we have 6 adaptive points, and then we need to connect them. So first the horizontal triangle. So two of them. Oops. And then vertical, and vertical, and then midpoint. So if you look at this image, so the midpoint, these midpoint on the edge, midpoint. So we can just use point and draw on face and use pick the midpoint. Okay, you can also use SM to snap midpoint. So you can just pick the line, use SM, and you don't need to go to the actual midpoint. Okay, so then we can just connect all these midpoint. First vertical connection, and then horizontal connection. Okay, so now we and then we also need some diagonal one. So I'll just roughly just place some into it, and then here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. So now we have all the lines between all these points. So, and also I'm not going to make them a reference line and place profiles or create those sweeps to make it solid, but just to use the model line to indicate these members. Okay, so this is one of that part of this framing. The next thing is we can create a whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to, let me think, create another adaptive family. So generic model adaptive. In this one, I'm going to place 1 point and I'm going to create a triangle. So I just use this inscribed polygon. So or either this one or that one. Just typing 3, and then we can just create something like this. Okay, so then we just need to copy them and just copy them up. Okay, hang on, let me just try again. CC doesn't work, that's fine. Let's press shift so it goes up. Just make sure. So just try this. Doesn't work. Hang on, let me just look. The issue we have here is because when we place the reference lines, we didn't pick the work plane. So the work plane of these lines are on the level. So So you can see here. So we just need to change the world plan of these lines. We can just select them here, just pick and pick the horizontal world plan of this point. So now we can select them and copy them up. Okay, so so now we can make this point adaptive point. Oops, sorry, click on the wrong one. Make adaptive and make adaptive. So now we have 1 and 2 points. We're not going to connect them because we only need 2 profile to create this form, because in this case we want these profiles always horizontal. If you create a reference line between them and then somehow place the profile onto a point on this reference line, it will be all, and the profiles will always be perpendicular to the reference line. So that's not what we want. So let's just Control Z, go back to vertical. And okay, so the next step is we're going to pick, we just need to I think we just need to have two hang on, let me think. That's fine, let's just make the whole thing divided surface, and then select one of the surface, uncheck the V grid, so we only have the vertical horizontal. So you can see if I uncheck the V grid, so we only have the horizontal grids. Like the same. And once again, we're going to select select all these 3. Hang on. Well, let me select. Okay, select all these divided surface, and then we're going to change it from a fixed number to maybe maximum spacing. And I'll just maybe try this to 900. And yeah, I think that's okay. And so this means if we change the height of this, and it will also change the number. So the next step is we need to turn on the nodes. Okay, so turn on the nodes, and this one, turn on the nodes. Oh, actually, hang on, Control Z. We only need 2. So yeah, we probably don't really need this one. So yeah, I'll just leave this divided surface there. So should be okay. We only need these nodes. So now we can go back and load this into here, and then we can place it in this family. So let's try to pick you. Oh, sorry, you need to use place on face and try to place onto the nodes. So make sure they all these match the all the 3 points, the 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 6. Okay, so I think that's probably it. So now we can click on the repeat and then create this thing. So the next step is, so we have this one. So now if I create a new project and load this one. So if I go load this one into the project, so I'm going to just place here because I don't have anything to pick, so I just escape. So this will create a family just like the one in here. Okay, but we can adjust it. So see, if you move the cursor around here, you can see the adaptive points. So now so let me just have a look. So basically, yeah, so one angles out. So yeah, so basically you can just try to move this point. You can use MV to move the points, so it will automatically. Oh, looks like we have some issue here. They are no longer horizontal, but yeah, I think we can fix it by check a box here. So let's try again, load this into a project and overwrite. And look at the 3D view. Okay, so it looks like we have some issue here. I think it's probably because Yeah, let's try to move this back a little bit. Let's go to the top. Okay, so maybe I'll try to move this back and move back to this direction, because hang on, it should be there. So let's move this point to the other direction. Okay, it looks like we have some issue here, because probably because the different, so see, you can see the nodes, they are not same number. So when we use maximum spacing, so we can get different result depending on, depending on the length or maybe the angle. How can we? I'm not sure how to fix this. So let's have a try. Okay, so let's have a try. So instead of, let's try out, just to try to pick this divided surface. So maybe instead of maximum spacing, let's try fixed. How about fixed number, so we can make sure the numbers are all the same? Yeah, let's try that. 16. Okay, but I think because we are not sure about the actual size, because we model this as maybe 10 meter, but eventually might need 12 meter. So maybe it's good to create a parameter so we can control them, right? So let me just try to pick that divided surface with that number. So maybe you can just create a number, no number, and maybe instance, and okay. So now let's try to give this parameter to the other two, and I think the last ones here. So change it to number, fixed number, and give that. Okay, so, and yeah, I think that's all good. Let's load this one into the project and overwrite. Okay, so let's go to 3D view. Yeah, I think that's better. So now you can see, because we changed to number instead of maximum spacing. So make sure all these numbers are matching. All the number on the three edges are the same. So great result. Okay, now let's have a look. So yeah, I think to okay, looks like there is another issue, is the rotating of this one. So you can see it's a little bit hard to control this. It's all when I try to move this one, so it's also rotate the angle of these profiles. So maybe what we can do is we can go back here. So because when sorry, not here, go back to here. So when we place this profile onto this point, there's no control at all. So what we can do is we can place a point, draw on work plan, set work plan, pick the horizontal work plan of this point, and place onto the point. So to make it easier, I just move this point out, okay, and then to show the work plan. So now this point can be there is a rotation angle for this point, so we can control the rotation angle if we want to. So we can just create an angular parameter. So let's call it A. So now if I'll just rotate it back. So let me just change this one back to 0. Okay, and then move this back to original location. And then hang on, it's a little bit hard because there are two. So this is place point 2, adaptive point 2. I'm going to H just hang on, this one's adaptive, so Control Z. This one, okay, so this one's not the adaptive point. Let me tab, select this one's adaptive. I'm going to hide it, H. Now try to select the profile, and then here change the work plan on to the horizontal work plan of the new point. So now we can control this profile. So let me try. So if I change this one to 45 degrees, so you will see it will rotate this. Okay, so good. So now let's just control Z. Let's do the same thing to here. So point, draw on work plan, set work plan, pick the horizontal work plan, place it onto the point. Okay, so then I'm going to select this adaptive point HH, select, and then go back, select the 3 profile, so reference line, and go here to pick the horizontal work plan of this point, and that's it. So now select this point and also add that rotation angle parameter to it. Okay, so now HR. So now this one we can control the rotation angle. So 45, you can see the whole thing will rotate. So now let's go load this back into the project and overwrite. So now we should be able to control this quite easily. So for example, first I want to increase the height, and you will see it will increase the spacing because we use the number to control them. So what we can do is here. So for example, you just do need to do some calculation to work out how what the number need to be. For example, 24, and then that's it. And then also we can rotate. So for example, so if I go to top, and I think, okay, how can we just try to match that direction? So maybe we try this 60, no, back 30. So yeah, it's much easier. So now you can see that's it. Yeah, if you want to the other direction, so it's basically I think at 180 degrees, so to 210, so it'll give you another, yeah. So and then so you can just create a platform there and somehow just place 1, 2, 3. So of course there's a stair there, so I think that's not hard, right? Yeah, so that's it. I will. So it's very it's simple, and also this is all lines. So if you render, you won't see anything, and also there's some pattern there. So maybe let's just quickly fix them. So first, so to just I think hang on, we can delete this divided surface, and also delete this one, and we can still select it and uncheck the visible. So now let's load this back into the project, and we should be able to hide. So now you won't see those. Okay, so and also there are nodes here. If you render, you won't see those, but you can also hide them by just in here turn off the nodes, or you can just show it hide them in the project, so it's the same. But if you turn off here, so you won't see them in the project anymore. Okay, so and also there are lines. If you render, you won't see anything. But we can quickly let me just show you what's the easiest way to quickly add those. So because if you want to add them manually, you need place a point, place a profile, place a point, you need 2 on each one. But you can also do a family adaptive family. So with 2 adaptive points, create a spline, make a reference line. Okay, so point, draw on face, place onto reference line, reference, maybe let's make it a circle, easier. Okay, so set to a plan, pick this and create a circle. So that's profile. So and then let's just create a radius parameter. So because it's a circle, so we can let's call it R instance. Of, yeah, let's type the file, and then just copy them and pick the point, pick new host, and then you can just create a profile with these two profile, and then you can just select the point. So this one go to 0, and then this one go to 1. So now we have one member, and then we can just load this one into here. Okay, so before we load, just select everything, filter, reference point, adaptive point, only select the lines, and check the always, is reference line, so make them reference line. So now go back to that. So this one, we need to go, which is family 6, load this one into family 6 and overwrite, so there's no overwriting, sorry. And then just SE, snap endpoint, SE, tab, SE, snap tab, SE, tab, select, SE, pick, and SE, tab, pick, SE, click, SE, tab, click. So basically, so it's quite simple, right? So you can do it very fast. Oops. So let's do it again. SE to snap endpoint, and SE tab to snap the other endpoint. So you basically don't need to, pick those points. Just let Revit do it for you. So, oops. So it's quite easy, right? Wrong again. Almost. Control Z. Okay, all done. That's all we need. So now we can load this one into project 2. Oh, no, hang on. Yes, we can directly, because by default this is a shared parameter, you can directly load into a project. So it will replace the family inside the family. Okay, so that's it. Oh, looks like we missed some there. Let's have a look here. Oh, here, this one, sorry. And load it directly into the project. Just be careful once you do this, and then if you go back to this family and load it again, it will overwrite it. Okay, just be careful. So this is it. Let's create another one. So for example, if I have something on the, maybe just go to side plane, I'll just create a floor here. Okay, and then just make it higher, 30 meter high, and then we can place CS, create similar. So basically first point will be on the floor, and second point just pick some edge. I'll just pick here. So this might take some time because every time you move your cursor, Revit is trying to calculate how long it needs to be, or and escape to finish it. So okay, so yeah, just yeah, so that's it. So now you can see we have this one. So from ground floor to that top floor. So and then you can adjust, if you wanted to, you can adjust the angle. But I think this one's quite good. And then you can somehow you can to match the floor, right? And then if you want to, I think because when we place this point, we use a draw on face, you won't be able to move it down. You can only move it in this surface. So if you want to, you can go here and use not associated. So now this point become a free point, so you can move it up and down. Don't worry about the floor anymore. And this is it. Okay, so I will upload this family, and so you can have a play. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.